Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Hawthorne, your trusted St. Cloud, Florida realtor, and today we're talking about one of the biggest issues affecting Florida homeowners right now, property taxes. Governor Ron DeSantis and Florida lawmakers have approved a major property tax relief proposal that will go before Florida voters in November 2026. If approved, it could dramatically reduce property taxes for millions of Florida homeowners. But there are a lot of questions to be answered. How much could homeowners actually save? Who qualifies? What happens to local government funding? Could this affect home values? And what does it mean if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Florida? Let's break it down. Over the past several years, Florida homeowners have faced rising costs almost everywhere. Home prices have increased dramatically. Insurance premiums have surged. Maintenance and repair costs have continued to climb. And as property value increases, local governments have collected significantly more property tax revenue. Governor DeSantis has argued that homeowners deserve relief because local property tax collections have grown substantially, while many residents feel their household budgets are being stretched thinner and thinner every year. That's what led to this major push for tax reform. The governor has even discussed the long-term possibility of eliminating taxes on homesteaded properties, but lawmakers ultimately approved a more gradual approach centered around increasing the homestead exemption. Let's talk specifics. Right now, Florida homeowners generally receive a $50,000 homestead exemption on their primary residence. Under the proposal approved by the legislature, January 1st, 2027, the homestead exemption would increase from $50,000 to $150,000. January 1st, 2028, the homestead exemption would increase further to $250,000. The proposal would apply to non-school property taxes and is designed to provide significant tax relief for primary residence homeowners. For many homeowners, this could reduce annual property taxes by hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on location, assessed value, and local tax rates. Let's use a simple example. Imagine a Florida homeowner has an assessed value of $350,000. Current homestead exemption again is $50,000. Today's taxes are generally calculated on approximately $300,000 of taxable value. If the exemption rises to $250,000, that same homeowner could be taxed on only about $100,000 of value for applicable non-school taxes. That's a substantial reduction. Now, every county and municipality is different, so the exact savings will vary. But many homeowners could see meaningful relief, especially in areas where home values have appreciated significantly over the last few years. This is one reason the proposal has gained attention among homeowners throughout Florida. Who will this tax relief affect? The biggest winners will most likely be long-term Florida homeowners, those who already have homestead exemptions in place. Retirees. Many retirees live on fixed incomes and have felt pressure from rising insurance and housing costs. Middle-class homeowners. People whose homes have appreciated significantly, but whose incomes haven't kept pace. Future buyers. Potential buyers may view lower property tax obligations as making homeownership more affordable. Supporters believe the proposal could improve affordability and help residents stay in their homes longer. Now, let's talk about the other side of the debate. Critics of the proposal are asking an important question. If local governments collect less property tax revenue, where will the money come from? Property taxes help fund police departments, fire protection, roads, parks, libraries, infrastructure, community service. State economists have projected that local governments could lose billions of dollars in revenue annually if voters approve the amendment. Some city leaders have warned that reductions in revenue could force difficult decisions regarding services, staffing, and future projects. Cities across Florida have already begun estimating potential impacts to their budget. Supporters of the reform respond by saying local governments have experienced significant revenue growth in recent years and should be able to operate more efficiently while governing taxpayer relief. This is really the central debate: tax relief versus local government funding. One important detail: lawmakers modified the proposal so that school district funding would not be directly affected by the homestead exemption expansion. The change was made during negotiations and helped address some concerns about impacts on public education funding. So while local governments may experience revenue reductions, school taxes remain protected under the current version of the proposal. This proposal is not law yet because it involves changes to Florida's Constitution. Voters must approve it. The amendment will appear on the November 26 ballot. To pass, it must receive at least 60% of voter approval statewide. If voters approve it, the first increase would begin in 2027. The larger exemption would take place in 2028. Additional future property tax reforms could potentially be considered by lawmakers. So here's the bottom line. Florida's proposed property tax amendment represents one of the most significant tax relief efforts in state history. Supporters see it as a much-needed break for homeowners facing rising costs. Opponents worry about the long-term impact on local government services and community funding. Either way, this will likely be one of the most closely watched issues on Florida's November 26 ballot. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Florida should dramatically reduce property taxes? Would the savings make a meaningful difference for your family? Leave your comments below. I would love to hear them. And if you're considering buying, selling, or investing in Central Florida real estate, be sure to subscribe for weekly updates on the housing market, property taxes, Central Florida neighborhoods, insurance trends, and everything you need to know about living the Florida good life the smart way. I'm Rebecca Hawthorne, and I'll see you at the next video.